Hey kid, how's it going? It's me, trying to give advice on what to do. I'm a little late in April. Told myself to do these things once a month, so here we are. Oh, this is intro now. This is it. This is what it is. Today's topic, well, just friends. How to pick good friends, how to not pick bad friends. And you are screaming your head off in the background, although you probably don't hear it, but I hear it here live. Your mom just was saying hello as well.
Hi.
I knew it. If you're not having a good year, hopefully you're having a good month. If you're not having a good month, hopefully you're having a good week. If you're not having a good week, hope you're having a good day. If you're not having a good day, hope you have a good hour. If not a good hour, then at least a good moment. And the only thing that I wish for you, honestly, is not to be part of the 54% of adults who can't read past 6th grade in America. That's the only thing I wish and hope for you. Let's get into the topic about having good friends or making good friends. I won't lie. I don't think there is a magical way to figure out who is or who's not a good friend at the beginning or who's a bad friend. You're going to have to do tests, trials, and tribulations. Now, for me personally, the way that I kind of figured out who is a good friend to me, I'm going to use my intuition. That's what I use, my personal intuition, that gut feeling, that thing of kind of like, you seem like a good person, and I hope you are a good person. Right? There's no right or wrong way to figure it out. There's some people who I thought were honestly stupid, dumb, or just a bad friend. However, over time and over years, they just proved to me time and time again that they are a good person, a good friend, and they're pretty smart. So you could have both. I think one indicator to figure out if someone's a good person, I think I'm gonna give you 3 different ways that I think is more effective. And if the person passed 2 out of 3, I think you have a better chance of finding a good friend. The first one is if the person actually likes cats or enjoys being around cats. Not that they have to be in love with them, like be obsessed. I do think that if the person has enough patience to learn how to allow the cat come to them and enjoy their presence, again, not all cats, but just cats in a general form, I think that shows that person has a lot of patience and understanding about other people's surroundings and their own safety. So I think that's one litmus test. A second one I would say is, how does that person treat people who can do nothing for them? So, let's say for example, it's a server at a restaurant, or maybe it's the representative on a phone call when they are calling for like a return or some sort of bad situation. How do they talk or treat that person? Do they treat them badly? Do they talk to them poorly? Do they call them bad names? Or how do they talk to the barista at a coffee shop? Again, that person theoretically is, you can't do anything. They can't do anything for you. And in American society, they are beneath you. Or they're lower than you. Yeah, that's not true. However, how does that person treat those who are even less fortunate or just at a position that can't help or benefit them socially or economically? How do they treat that person? Treat them with respect. If they do, then they most likely treat you with respect. And I think the third indication for me is gossiping. I'm not perfect. I do like to hear about who did what, right? Like, oh my goodness, they did that. Oh my, that's crazy, right? I do enjoy listening to those things. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's a good story. It's a good story. However, if this person is gossiping about someone else and they are saying bad things about them in front of you, they are probably doing the same thing to you behind your back as well. So, think about that. You could think to yourself, oh, that person is my friend. They would do that thing. They do that to me. They would never, talk bad about me behind my back. If they are willing to talk bad about their friend to you behind their back, what's stopping them from doing something to you? So those are 3 things I think is decent tests to figure out, or litmus test, figure out if this person is a good friend or not. Again, there is no perfect way. There's no way at all to figure it out to know for sure, and that's just what it is. Actually, I'm going to show you right here. My friend AJ. We've been friends for how long have we been friends for? 8 years? 10 years? I think it's been 10 years because we met in college. Right, we've been friends for 10 years, and I would admit the fact that we didn't become like we were acquaintances, decent acquaintances, good friends. But we didn't become like a strong friendship until after we started doing a podcast together. and I had not convinced, but I confessed to him about my feelings about the situation with the person. And instead of just, I guess, running away from it and just not really shutting me down, he allowed me just to talk about and express how I felt, and that's what opened up the relationship between the two of us even further. So there's no rhyme or reason as to why that happens. And to give you an example, not an example, just my personal thing, I have another friend who we did business together and it didn't work out. At least in my perspective, it's because they didn't do any work in the project that we're working on. However, I was putting all the work in myself and trying to put money into it. They weren't doing their weight. And what I learned from that, friends, fact that even though we were friends for over 7 years, that didn't matter, right? In terms of the aspect of business, it's just the name of the game. It's just how it is. And then we had a falling out, and then we're no longer friends. Also, they threatened to sue me a couple times. So, if you have a friend who's threatened to sue you, they're not your friend. Oh, shocker. All right. Now, on the same thing, or the same breath, I would say, right now, I'm doing business with my friend Alex, and that's going great. We've been making things happen. Things have been moving along, and that's been wonderful. So, and we have been friends for I think about 4 years at this point. So the length of time of friendship doesn't always indicate whether it'll be good or bad. I do think what matters more is the depth of the friendship, right? Like, what have you gone through together? There are lots of friendships where two people literally go to war together for like a year, 2 years, and you crying in the background. I'm not trying to make a video, whatever, right? It's not like I'm trying to be productive, and this is what happens when you live with your parents. I think that's an indication of the fact this is the end of the video. I think you're trying to tell me I need to shut up, so I appreciate it. I think that's about it. I got nothing else. Again, the litmus test of the three: do they like cats? Are they willing to understand, listen to cats, understand people's perspective? Are they willing to be nice to servers or anyone that's kind of quote unquote beneath them? And the last part was, do they talk about gossip negative or talk about people negatively in front of your face? Those are the three tests about it. And the other thing to realize, like, that it doesn't matter how long you've been friends for. That does not matter, right? You could be friends with someone for 6 months and they could be your best friend for life. I've been blessed with the fact that I have literally a good friend in almost every aspect of my life. I have a good friend from my childhood. I have a good friend from middle school. No, still my friend from my childhood. I have a friend from my childhood. I have a friend from high school. I have a friend from college, and I not even have friends as an adult. And that's very hard to do. That's another topic to talk about. But anyways, that's it, kid. D3ar, I love you. Have a good day. Bye.